Hey guys, Rich Perez, Florida Mises Caucus. I'm also the Region 2 rep down here in Florida. Um, so last night I put out a statement during the LNC meeting. I've had a lot of people reach out, say thank you for speaking up. So I'd like to give you all the full version of what I had in mind. Given that we were only given 1 minute, I had to shorten it up. But I feel like if more people in my shoes were to speak up, all the better. And this platform, I feel like, may reach more people. So, here's what I had on my mind over the past week or so with everything going on. First of all, my full statement that I wanted to say was that, I stand with those on the committee who have stood for the people of the party, first and foremost, because that's what they're supposed to represent. Okay. They stood for the people, they stood for privacy and property rights, as good libertarians should. Okay, nobody should be to have that taken away from them, well, without due process, obviously. It shouldn't be taken away from them at all, but if you could argue that it should, due process should be followed. Um, in a time like this, I mean, decorum is the last of my worries. We're libertarians. I don't know since when libertarians follow rules just because they're the rules. Okay? If we had our shit together, I'd totally be with nitpicking about decorum. But right now, the party's a mess. Let's be clear. It's very much a mess. Trying to watch my mouth. I really don't care. I really don't care about the bullshit like decorum. Okay? I'm not saying I condone or would personally throw it all out the window. I'm just saying it's extremely low on my list of priorities at a time like now. See, this is the issue as I can see with the party right now. And mind you, I am still very new, but everybody has their own personal issue that they want to be at the front of the line. And I think that we could all agree there's plenty of issues that we would all like to see worked on. This country's a mess. And libertarian is a big tent philosophy, and everybody's going to have their own priorities. But for me personally, gun control was what got me paying attention to politics. And ironically enough, the Mises Caucus, in my opinion, doesn't take a strong enough stand on guns specifically. It's not mentioned in the 8 planks specifically. It is indirectly through property rights and things like that. But that's okay. We don't have to agree on everything. Okay, at the end of the day, the MC is working on limiting control of the government and the power which the government has. And that's good for all libertarians and all people, period. Okay, you can't convince me otherwise. Right? We could agree that we have our priorities and the things that we want to work on, but that if we're working on limiting government control and the government power has over our own personal lives, the ultimate goal is going to be the same. Moving on, I've also, the second part of my statement, I've been indirectly called a bigot and a racist just based on my affiliations with the Mises Caucus. I keep hearing, people in the Libertarian Party say I condemn bigotry as irrational and repugnant. Well, let me tell you something, guys. I have not met a single person in the Libertarian Party, okay, nobody that sees that as anything less than a given. That's why we are here. It's because we care about our own and each other's freedom and liberty. Okay, so again, to those who would call me a Puerto Rican and Cuban with black ancestors, okay, with native ancestors, with European ancestors, okay, I'm a huge mix. For those who would call me a bigot based on my affiliations and my relationships, I would love for you to come see me and have that conversation with me in person. That's a genuine invitation that I'm extending to everybody and anybody. Okay? Next year in Reno, I will be there. In my experience, the Mises Caucus has been nothing but welcoming, from the people doing the frontline work to the top of the food chain. Okay, I've met Michael Heiss. I've met others within the party. Okay, and everybody's just like everybody else I know, down to earth. The only difference I could say is that there are a lot of people within the party who are workaholics. Right, these guys are working day and night to get things done. I've got messages blowing up my phone at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes with people that are working on stuff and getting stuff done. But there has not been a single instance where anybody in the Mises Caucus has done anything that makes me feel like anybody coming in with good faith would be turned away. Matter of fact, the only times I feel like I'm not welcome in this party is thanks to those who, in bad faith, have demonized me for my relationships and my affiliations. Personally, I hate pulling the race card, okay, the way I had to last night. But if there's something worse than pulling the race card, in my opinion, it's when somebody else pulls the race card for me. Okay, it's fucking disgusting. Don't tell me I'm a victim. Don't tell me that I need a handicap in life. Don't tell anybody that. You're not doing them any favors by telling them that. Look, I'll admit, I am new to this. I'm not the greatest libertarian. I'm not the greatest libertarian mind. I haven't read the most books. I don't know the history of what's happened within the party within the last 50 years. I'm totally new to this. I only joined this year, okay, and really got involved and really started, doing my homework. Here's what I do know, without a doubt. The party has a lot of good people in it, okay? Yeah, there's more than enough bad faith actors to go around and ruin a good thing. But we need to focus on the growth of the party and disregard those who would try to burn it all, burn down all the good. The only way to win, in my opinion, against the state is with a multifaceted approach. We need those who are good at different things. We need radicals. We need pragmatists. We need intellectuals. We need the people who are going to take those intellectual parts and get the normies out there to understand the arguments that we're putting forth. So let's be real. Some of the arguments that we're putting forth go straight over people's heads who are apolitical. They don't understand it. They can't wrap their minds around it. That's why I joined the Mises Caucus, to be honest. What I've seen since I joined is a mix of people with different interests, backgrounds, experiences, and everybody's coming together into something that is much, much greater than the sum of its parts. It's really amazing to see, in my opinion. I'll leave you all with this, guys and gals. We've all heard the quote that the night is darkest before dawn. And while I'm sure it's still going to get a little darker, don't give up. Don't. The people fighting back against the fuckery that in this party has multiplied this past week, and I keep seeing it over and over again. People coming out in defense of the Mises Caucus, people saying, hey, this is my experience with the Mises Caucus. Speak up, okay? And let's just get to work. Let's ignore those assholes, all right? They underestimate this movement and have made a huge mistake in doing so. In the grand scheme of things, we are but minutes away from a new dawn of the Libertarian Party and the Liberty Movement. All right, guys, I'll leave you with that. I hope y'all all have a great weekend, and till next time.